Am I the asshole for saying no to being a bridesmaid to my childhood best friend for being engaged to my ex?
Oh, shit.
So Jane, 29 female, and I, 29 female, have known each other since we were in middle and high school together. She went to college in California. I went to college in Georgia. During college, Jane and I visited each other. She's younger than me, so I flew to LA for her 21st birthday, and we always met up when we were home, etc. My junior year, I met Kyle, a senior at the time. After he graduated, he moved to New York for a job. While I was not intending on staying on the East Coast, I ended up also moving to New York, partially to be with him. Kyle decided he wants a change of pace and wants to move to LA. We talked a lot about it, and I said if we could wait 6 months and move together since I just got promoted. He found a job and he moved to LA in May of that year instead of waiting. It's worth noting that Jane had moved to LA in January of that year. May, January, okay. I'm not sure at what point Jane and Kyle got together. They were already familiar with each other because of all the times Jane had visited and the times when I brought Kyle home. Kyle and I started fighting a lot more. I was stressed and frustrated. That August we broke up. Kyle and I kept talking, and he decided he didn't like LA and was going to move back to New York. Then COVID hits. I find out that they may be together through friends. I asked Jane about it, and she said they were just hanging out a lot because he was still new and didn't have a lot of friends. Jane was constantly posting stories on Instagram, and they looked too close to just be friends, and I didn't believe her. She kept saying they're just friends, and I unfollowed both of them on Instagram, and neither of them said anything. Jane and I haven't really talked since everything happened. And now they're engaged. Jane asked me to be a bridesmaid, and I said no. I felt it would be a little uncomfortable for me. I felt Kyle had been stringing me along while he was in LA, and I feel awkward that they weren't honest about it from the beginning. But Jane is saying I can bring my current boyfriend as my plus one, and Kyle agreed with her, and she...
How kind of them.
I know. She and my sister both think I'm overreacting and should just say yes. So am I the asshole for saying no?
Even your sister is on their side. Yo, your sister is not loyal. I'm
Speaking
sorry.
of loyalty.
I'm sorry, but if my sister's best friend started dating her ex, I have no loyalty to you. That's for damn sure. Like, your sister... I can't. I mean, whatever. Sisters have different relationships than we do. But, like, she's marrying your ex and, like, they weren't straightforward with you about it. That's so weird. Like, I won't... No, I don't care unless you literally came to me before you started dating and you were like, I think I might have feelings for your ex. And I was on the best terms with my ex and we had no hard feelings for each other. We weren't like distant or stringing each other along. We just decided we didn't work out. You came to me months later and you were like, hey, we live in the same city. Could we try it? And I was like, you know what? I'm on good terms with him. I'm happy in my relationship. Sure, why not? Unless that was the case, I'm not coming to your wedding. Sorry. And I'm certainly not supporting your marriage.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to date your friend's ex, you have to realize that they likely, I would think that most people, another guess of mine, I'm going to guess that most people would not want their best friend to date their most influential ex. So if you're going to date your friend's ex, you need to mentally be prepared to choose between the two. Yes. So in, I'm sure, rare occasions, it has worked where you didn't need to choose between the two. But I would think in most situations, people are not going to be okay with this.
I actually know multiple. I have multiple friends that have dated their friend's ex or their ex has dated their friend. Like both situations. I actually know multiple people in my life, which is weird because I feel like this is not a common thing.
Yeah.
But I do know multiple couples who have done this. And I've very much seen both of those things happen where like it is okay and they do stay in each other's lives, or it's totally not okay and they have to absolutely cut each other off. And I think it all trickles down to how serious you and that ex were. How close you and that best friend were, and how honest and open you were with each other about the whole thing.
I agree with that too, because like part of me is like, if my best friend was like, oh, I want to date your ex, that would be so emotionally tumultuous for me. And I'd be like, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're crazy to think this is okay. Like, I can barely think about that guy. Like, how are you now going to go date him? Like, whatever. If they just were like messing around and they were like fucking around and found out that they weren't meant to be, it was a dumb hookup, I'd be so pissed at my friend. I'd be like, well, I hate saying I told you so, but I would literally have to say, I told you so. Like, was that actually worth it? I'd be furious.
See, I have a friend that happened to too.
I would just be so upset. But I feel like if my best friend, who I love so much, then married the guy, like they were engaged and they were getting married, I might have to take a step back and realistically be like, I mean, clearly they're meant to be,
right?
Like the universe doesn't like bring you, she's meant to go through this, you know? And if they last forever, the longer that marriage lasts, the less mad I can be.
I agree.
Because I'm like, yeah, it's just shitty that we dated beforehand, like before you guys did. So I can see both sides of it.
I know the more you're speaking, the more I'm thinking about people that I know that this has happened to, and it's so crazy to me because it's like I can't fathom it happening to me. I seriously can't fathom it, and I really can't fathom one of my loved ones in my life just hooking up with my ex. But like I have friends that this has happened to, and like I've watched all the different scenarios of how this can play out. I've seen it all, and I'm like, more power to you for being able to support this marriage. More power to you for being able to cut off your best friend who slept with your ex. And more power to you for accepting that, like, you know, the person you're going to marry is, like, worth cutting off someone else. Like, I have seen these all play out, and I am like, holy shit, how did all these people make these decisions?
I know.
Because I don't know what I would do.
It's so crazy. I really do feel like, though, if you were genuinely happy in your relationship, in your current relationship, and your friend is dating your ex, I feel like the more secure and happy you are in your own life, the more easily you're going to accept this other situation.
Agreed.
And the more like life experience, the more relationship experience, because I feel like as I get older, I just see like relationships are formed and people meet in so many ways. Very, very rarely are they like a meet cute where you have this like cute. Do you not know what that is?
No.
Oh my gosh. You're kidding.
A what?
A meet cute. Erin.
What the hell does a meet cute?
A meet cute is when someone meets like if you bump into each other in the coffee shop and you're like, ooh, like
is this like a Gen Z term?
No, this is like a very well-known term. Like every rom-com is about a meet cute.
A meet cute.
That's literally what it's called.
Where did you hear this term?
Everywhere.
People just say this in everyday life.
It's an extremely common term, I promise. SNL has skits about meet cutes with Kirsten Stewart starring in it. It's literally, it's such a huge term in pop culture. Yes. So if you meet someone because you're on the same like intramural basketball team, like that's a meet cute. You meet in the wild. If you like bump into each other at the bar, it's a meet cute. If your friend introduces you to their mutual friend and they're like, ooh, I think you guys would get along, you're just like introduced through friends. I wouldn't consider that. I wouldn't consider it a meet cute. When people meet on dating apps, I wouldn't consider it a meet cute. I guess I'll put it like this. Have you ever met someone and they seem almost like embarrassed or like shy to tell you how they met?
Yeah.
That was probably not a meet cute. Because it's typically, if it's a meet cute, people are like so excited and people really, really get attached to the story. So think about the people that you know that are dating someone and they're really, really attached to the story about how they met. Okay. That would probably be a meet cute.
A meet cute.
Yeah.
I hate this term.
I feel like it's just the best term to describe
meet cute.
Why people are emotionally attached to certain relationships.
It sounds like a Pokemon.
It does. It does, yes. It actually sounds kind of cute. No pun intended.
It sounds like a little cute animal, a meet cute. Like I'm going to name my puppy that. Meet cute.
Meet cute.
Come here. Sit meet cute.
That would actually be a cute name.
My meet cute.
Yeah.
If I never get my own meet cute, I'll have to go out and buy a meet cute.
So what story were we talking about? Oh yeah, dating the ex. I would think that most people would agree that dating your friend's ex is not a meet cute. Dating like online dating. Like I don't know why, but I feel like a lot of people are like embarrassed to tell me that, oh, we met on Tinder or we met on Hinge. It's like I would think like 95% of people met their significant other. If you started dating in the past like year or two, you probably met on an app. So like people shouldn't
especially
be.
During COVID.
Exactly. I feel like people tend to be more embarrassed about that kind of thing than if they just like met in the wild. And I feel like
meet cute.
Yeah. Everyone, and I've done it too, you get like emotionally attached to this story of how you met someone and it like keeps you like hanging on to the relationship like a little bit too long. Whereas if it was like, oh, we just met on a dating app, like I can get over it. It's just a guy from a dating app. But then if you met in the wild, you'd be like, oh, well, we met at a bar and like blah, blah, blah. And it was cute. We spent the whole night together. It's like, well, all of that really means nothing. being realistic, like
it's just to meet cute.
You just met someone. Meeting someone in a cute way or meeting someone on a dating app, in my opinion, you have an equal chance of that relationship working out or not.
Yeah.
But I think everyone would love to just like meet someone at a bar, meet someone in the wild. Have you heard the term
own meet cute?
Have you heard the term meeting someone in the wild?
I mean, vaguely. Like, I feel like people just like jokingly say that. Like, oh, did you meet on an app? Like, no, it was out in the wild.
Okay. I think the reason that you probably haven't heard that term as much is because they're rare. Like, how often are people meeting in a cute way and then they end up together?
I think that I've just literally never heard anyone call it that. Like, oh, we met at a bar. Like my friends met at this bar in Philly. And it's like,
yeah,
they're going to just tell me what bar they met at. They're not going to say, we have a meet cute.
I think some people might if they were emotionally tied to the story, but I also wouldn't think that just meeting someone at a bar is enough to call it a meet cute. Like, typically something interesting or like out of the norm has to happen for people to call it this.
I just think that my friends are just like not cutesy.
But I didn't hear it from my friends. Like, my friends aren't like, we had a meet cute. It's like I hear it in SNL and like on podcasts and in rom-coms and movies.
So I'm just uncultured.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Anyway, so I have no clue what I was talking about and why I brought up meet cutes. You guys, I'm at a loss. I have to refresh my mind about what this story was about. Oh yeah, she's being a bridesmaid in a wedding. Oh, I think this is what I was getting at. As you have like more experience in relationships and you hear about more people's relationships, you start to realize that the world brings people together in so many different ways.
Like a meet cute.
Well, I was going to say, most of them are not meet cutes. Mm-hmm. Most people don't meet their boyfriend or their future husband or their girlfriend, whatever, in a cute way. Most people meet through friends of friends, through mutual friends. People meet in crazy ways. And the way that your life plays out, it's one of those things where it's like you can't connect the dots looking forward, but you can connect the dots looking backward. And you're like, why did this happen to me? Like, what was the reason that this person was brought onto my path for this and that and whatever? And we both ended up here and here. And I think that if you were insecure and you were deeply unhappy, it would be way easier to be like, cool, my best friend's dating my ex. Like, so nice of her, so considerate of her. And now I'm alone and I just have this new boyfriend that I barely like and she's inviting me to her wedding. Like, so nice of you. If you were genuinely so secure and you're like, I found my person.
And
like,
meet cute.
It doesn't matter how you met them. You're like, this is my person. And looking back on my life, I was never meant to be with that guy. Yeah, we played a short role, but Kyle was never my person.
Yeah.
But now that I see my best friend and Kyle dating, it's crazy. It annoyed me at times. It made me upset at times. But overall, I can admit that they're meant to be together. Look how happy they are together. Mm-hmm. And I'm meant to be in this place in my life that I'm secure in. And I also think that getting to that place takes time. Like, you can be really, really happy in your life, but this jarring piece of information, which is my best friend is dating my ex and now they're getting married, that might take anyone some time to like come to terms with, even if they are happy and secure in their life. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll just take time, but I hope that this OP, if her best friend and her ex are truly meant to be and they're happy in their marriage and it lasts forever, I think that over time, OP will be able to take a step back and be like, it's crazy that happened. It's crazy that I knew him first, and it's crazy that that's how they met.
But at the same time, she is not an asshole, and they cannot fault her for where she stands and how she feels right now.
Oh, of course.
Is she an asshole for not being a bridesmaid in the wedding? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And they cannot fault you and they cannot make you feel guilty about not wanting to love every second of this relationship.
Yeah, I totally agree.
You don't owe them anything.
I agree. I think the best thing OP could say to her is, I'm so happy that you're happy. If you feel that you found your person, that's amazing for you. This information is hard for me to accept right now. I love you. I used to date him. I'm sure you can see where I'm coming from as a friend. If you could put yourself in my shoes for a second here, see how I'm seeing it. It's very difficult for me. I cannot be a bridesmaid at this time. I would love to go through life, and I hope that I can accept your relationship and support you as time goes on. But right now, this information is so jarring and upsetting for me. I won't be able to be a good bridesmaid to you, and therefore I cannot be in your wedding. You got to be honest.
Honesty is the best policy.
Open and honest communication.
We had to round out our yearly bonus with the open and honest communication.
Any final thoughts on the bridesmaid?
You have to be honest, but do not let them make you feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Don't let them. You don't owe them anything. They're hurting you, and that's okay. Your feelings are valid.
Your feelings are valid.
Valid.